So here's a cat maths all about solving absolute value equations. So in the first equation, I have the absolute value of 6 minus 3n, and it's equal to 12. With the absolute value, no matter what you put in here, you're going to get a positive number. So there's actually two scenarios where we could get 12, right? We could have the absolute value of just 12, which is 12. But we could also have the absolute value of negative 12, which is 12. So we take off the absolute value signs and set this guy equal to both the options. And then solve for n. So we've got negative 3n equals 6. N is equal to negative 2. And then here we've got negative 3n is equal to negative 18. So n is equal to 6. And so for absolute value, you're always going to have a this or this. And the answer can be 0. You can get 0 as well. So this next one, 3 plus 5k, and it equals 53. So we're taking the absolute value. So again, whatever goes in here, it could be just a 53, but it could also be a negative 53. So 3 plus 5k equals 53, and 3 plus 5k equals negative 53. So 5k is equal to 50, and k is equal to 10. And then here, 5k is equal to negative 56. K is equal to negative 56 fifths. So we have k is equal to 10, or k is equal to negative 56 fifths. Next, we have the absolute value of negative 12 plus 3m, and minus 6 outside the absolute values equals 4. So you have to do a little bit of algebra before even starting to solve the absolute value on this one. So we're going to add 6 to both sides. So our new absolute value equation is 12 plus 3m equals 10. And inside here, there's two options, right? That could be a negative 10 or a positive 10. So we'll set up our two equations. So here we have 3m is equal to 22. And then m is equal to 22 thirds. And here we have 3m is equal to, positive 2. So m is equal to 2 thirds. So again, we have m is equal to 22 over 3, or m is equal to 2 over 3. So this next one says 17x minus 11, and that's all absolute value, is equal to negative 41. Well, here's a huge thing that cannot happen. You cannot have a negative result from an absolute value. Absolute value is always positive. So if this was real, if this did equal negative 41 on the inside, right, if just 17x minus 11 equaled negative 41, well, then the absolute value of that would equal positive 41. So there is no solution. The absolute value cannot result in a negative number. So in this last example, I have negative 4 times the absolute value of 4n minus 4 is equal to negative 48. So here the negative isn't an issue because we're multiplying by a negative outside of the absolute value. So even though this comes out positive, you multiply it by a negative, it'll be negative. So we're going to divide this 4 over. It's just like the algebra we had to do a few up. Right here when we added the 6 over. Just do some algebra to make it look like the other absolute value equations that have the absolute value items on one side and then all the other numbers on the other. So now we end up with the absolute value of 4n minus 4 is equal to 12. And this could be two things, right? It could be positive 12. It could also be a negative 12 because those both equal 12 when you take the absolute value of them. So here we're going to set up our two equations. So I've got positive 12 and negative 12. And then we're going to solve for n. So 4n is equal to 16. N is equal to 4. Here I have 4n is equal to 8. N is equal to 2. So we have two solutions. It's this or that. And if you want to go back to check your answers, you're welcome to, because they both work out. It seems kind of weird, but they do. So negative 4 times the absolute value of 4 times 4 minus 4 equals, let's do the math. Negative 4 times the absolute value of 16 minus 4. So negative 4 times the absolute value of 12, which equals negative 48. Then we have negative 4 times the absolute value of 4 times 2 minus 4. And that equals negative 4 times the absolute value of 8 minus 4. Oh, sorry, that's negative. Negative, there we go. Negative 2. So negative 8 minus 4. And that equals negative 4 times the absolute value of negative 12, which again equals negative 48. So if you have any other questions, just send me them and I can try to help you out. I hope you have a good weekend and finish your homework early.